Hello, I'm Dilly Fung, Pro-Director Education at the LSE. A very warm welcome or welcome back to your University of London programme. I'd like to share with you some of the things we're doing at LSE to engage students in new ways and some of the opportunities that you have to connect with us. I'm going to start by talking about some of the educational developments at the LSE. As part of our thinking about the future, we've developed a new strategy, LSE 2030, and we've been thinking about what kind of school we want to be. What kind of education do we want to provide? You may have seen our website with the introduction to our LSE 2030 strategy, which commits the school to educate for impact, to research for the world, and to develop LSE for everyone. As our director, Dame Minouche Shafiq, says, our aim is to be the leading social sciences institution with the greatest global impact. Quite an ambition, but we're well on our way. As a key part of the strategy, we've developed a new way of shaping our commitment to education and the student experience, called Education for Global Impact. I'm just going to introduce you to some of the ideas behind it. Our framework highlights three key ambitions: empowering all students, connecting communities, and embedding research practices. When we talk about empowering all students, that means that we're encouraging students to speak out and to become leaders of change. We want you to be proactive as you study, and not just to be receivers of knowledge, but to become producers and innovators. The second pillar, engaging communities, focuses on enabling students to connect meaningfully with each other and with alumni. And we run many events and activities that enable that to happen. You'll have opportunities to connect with the school through your programme, but do also look at the public events calendar offered by LSE, showcased on the LSE events web pages. Many of these events involve leading figures from around the world, and they're online and accessible wherever you are in the world. Do come and be part of that community. The third pillar of the Education for Global Impact framework is embedding research practices. This means we're providing opportunities for students not only to learn from researchers who are working at the cutting edge of knowledge in their field, which is really exciting, but also developing new ways for students to investigate and to communicate their findings with different audiences, including alumni. Some of my own work as an academic has looked at the benefits to students of studying in a research-rich environment, and we've noted that benefits arise from the intellectual depth associated with engaging in any cutting-edge investigations, and from this range of skills associated with independent and collaborative inquiry. I hope you'll be thinking about the kinds of skills you'll be developing on your University of London programme. So how can we make the most of your studies? First, there's a lot of research that shows that people make different assumptions about learning. Some people see learning fairly simply as increasing one's knowledge or memorising and reproducing knowledge. Others think of learning as applying and a deeper understanding. And still others see learning as changing as a person, seeing the world in a different way. Research suggests that some students take a surface approach to their studies, being motivated by extrinsic factors, such as the need to meet the requirements of a given task with minimum effort. I hope that isn't your approach to your studies. Some conceptualise the subject to be learned in terms of discrete, unrelated items. That's also not so helpful. And some aim to reproduce through strategies such as rote memorisation. While it's great to remember important facts and ideas, that's only one goal. To engage in deeper learning, we'd really encourage you to find your subjects intrinsically interesting and enjoyable if you can, to connect your new learning with your own experience, to look for patterns and underlying principles in your discipline, to see the bigger picture and relate parts of the subject to the whole, to focus on meanings and applications, and become increasingly aware of the various ways in which meanings are communicated, whether that's verbally or visually. I'd really encourage you to think about the fact that learning is a team game. Knowledge, understanding and skills can all be enhanced through interaction with others, whether face-to-face or online. It may be that you feel isolated in your learning sometimes, but I'd encourage you to make the most of every opportunity you have to engage with your fellow students. At LSE, we're encouraging students to work together in a range of different ways. For example, in becoming change makers. Do take a look at the LSE Change Makers web pages to find out about the range of student projects. So to conclude, we're happy and proud to welcome you to the wider LSE community. We hope you'll enjoy your studies and make the most of them, and continue to look at the range of opportunities, many of which are online, being developed by LSE's extended education team. Do look at the LSE events webpage, as I mentioned earlier, and join us for some exciting discussions about all aspects of the social sciences and the ways in which research can influence policy and practices around the world. Let your learning change you as a person so that your programme empowers you to make the most of your career, but more than that, to express yourself with confidence and hope for the future. Warmest good wishes to you from all of us at the LSE.